Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. The Astros got their men and Minnesota. Here comes Happ. Get ready! Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. Thank you very much for joining us today on January 21st. Heyday! My name is Jimmy. Jake's over here. Producer Bug Dude's in the corner. And Trev is joining us from his studio, the Trevor Plouffe Studios in Hidden Hills, California. We had some news last night. We didn't know if we were going to be recording today because a lot of news came out yesterday, and we did an impromptu episode about that news. George Springer, Kirby Yates, Quintana. We covered it. We said, if nothing happens, we're not going to do a show on Thursday, and this will be our second show of the week. Things did happen. It looked like an hour after we were done, the Blue Jays we're going to get another guy in Brantley. It was reported to be true, and we're like, damn, I wish we would have recorded 2 hours later. We could have sandwiched that all into one show. But if that was the case, we would have done a whole conversation that would have been wrong because a couple hours later, turns out the Blue Jays did not get Brantley. He's returning to Houston. He's playing with the Astros, and Jason Castro is also going to the Astros. So what we found out about the waves that MLB produces this offseason, a lot of teams are catching the same swell. They're just like, Yankees are like, this is our day. We're going to ride this into shore. We're done. We're pack up, getting our van, drive home. Blue Jays did it with Yates and Springer. The Astros now have done it with Brantley and Castro. Every team's getting their day. We're going to make a couple moves. Today, maybe the Phillies are going to sign Realmuto and a reliever, and that'll be their day. We'll get there when we get there. We also have Happ going to the Twins and some other ancillary notes. So we got a lot of stuff for you. Trev, how are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. I was surprised to get the text that we were going back on air, but my work ethic, I'm built different. Jake, can I get the emoji? Built different. I was ready to come out here at a moment's notice. But things are good over here in my studio. It used to be Magnum Condom Studio. I'm looking for a new partner. Let me know if you want to join in. Maybe I'll have the Game Show Network sponsor my studio.
I mean,
yeah,
we like them.
I could see that. They have a 6-day window to become allies or enemies.
Yeah.
We're currently in it. #save baggage. If you guys don't know, JJTV, go check it out. Well, not right now, actually. We'll get you an update on that.
They took down all the videos.
Took down our videos. So we're okay over there. Trevor, you're right with the work ethic. You showing up for the normal time we record every week. Very impressive by you. Picking up on that Story Ellie work ethic. I love it. And yeah, I know Trev wants to go ham on some of the big J's because some of the stuff we get yelled at when we jump into the reporting world. Sometimes the big J's act up.
Wait, but hold on. None of the big J's actually had it, right? Like, Passan came out right away. His first tweet was
Ken had it. Mark had it.
No, they had it.
They went out with it.
Wow.
But Hazel May came out with it first. They followed up and were like, yeah, this is right. I think what Passan did was he put it in a tweet about the lineup that they could have with Brantley in Toronto. But, we'll get there.
Which I think that was Uncle Jeff's way of not confirming it, leaving himself an out because he probably knew it wasn't done.
That's the Passan way. Leave yourself an out.
Yeah, man. That's the great game. And I know you hate that, but... So yeah, we'll talk about Houston a little bit. Doing well. #save baggage. If you know anyone at the Game Show Network, reach out.
I mean, I'll let everyone know. Any
Network?
Talkin Baseball fan that doesn't know, the entire company is currently under siege, under sea. We're drowning and getting fired upon by Game Show Network. They claimed 40 of our videos in a 1-hour time period, which could possibly result in every single one of our YouTube channels being terminated forever. And if you didn't know, there's a main channel on there that's basically the crux of our business at the moment. and talking baseball. We've done a great job building this community, building it up. The live streams are going great. So save baggage.
Under siege, under sea.
I am wearing this sweatshirt until baggage is saved.
It says save baggage.
It says save baggage on it. For those.
So are you guys going to keep recording, watching baggage? Or might as well stockpile some up.
Well, yeah, we could always release them just on Patreon or something.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Oh, speaking of Patreon, this episode of Talkin' Baseball is brought to you by Jack Dudar, Alex Muniz, Brendan Miller, Rick Castro, Mike Tyberski. That's a good name. Michael Tyberski. Jared Cottrey. Mika Motes. Francisco Garcia. Peyton Munch. Ryan Martin. Salvador Jimenez. Chris Veloria. Adam O'Connor. Jamia? Whoa, interesting. Jamia? Jamia. Jamia. Jamia?
Jamia.
So maiden name probably O'Connor. Adam O'Connor, Jamia. Cal Pringle. That's a funny name. Brandon Brown. Mark David Venema. Griffin Katarius. Sam Tedeschi. And Ben Y. So thank you, our most recent 2021 patrons. Thank you very much. I think very soon, I think we're recording it soon, we are announcing a complete and utter revamp of our Patreon page to give people more and change up the YouTube game a little bit and give people a lot more. We actually have an employee that we hired just to take over our Patreon because people that want to support us, we want to give them all that we can.
You support, we support.
You support us and we support too.
Bang.
Bang. Let's get
Can I
into
have an observation real quick before we get into the baseball news?
Yeah, I love observations.
Hoodie Trev.
Yeah, I'll take
hoods
the hoodie
up?
off after this.
Oh, you guys can fuck yourselves to the moon.
Yeah, you get that little small hoodie on. Today, my people, is the 21st day in the 21st year of the 21st century.
That's it, dude.
That's what we went hoods up for?
Hood off.
Okay.
Okay.
Pretty spectacular, if you ask me.
You remember 10, 11, 12 day?
Yeah, sure.
Jake's birthday?
It's my birthday.
That's why I remember it, for no other reason.
Is it your birthday? October 11th, huh?
Yeah. Me and Gio are
I
showing.
don't know what is that. You have a sign?
I don't know.
I think you have a sign.
I'm a
right?
Libra.
A Libra?
Libra.
What kind of animal is that?
Yeah.
Libra.
Sure is.
Oh, whatever.
I think you're born in the year of the rat.
You'd guess that by looking at me. I don't know for sure.
I think I'm born in the year of the snake.
Like to lean snake. We're born in the same year.
So there you go.
Okay.
And we solved that quickly. Brantley does not go to the Blue Jays. He goes to the Astros. Now, do you think these leaks were just completely accidental? Do you think Brantley's agent told everyone, done deal with the Blue Jays to make the Astros realize it's serious? Do you think, where did the wires get crossed? Trev, I know you're an expert in big Jays. What do you think happened? And then we'll talk about the actual game result of, him being on the Astros and what this all means.
To my knowledge, I scouted around a little bit, but it was Hazel May, who was a sideline reporter with the Blue Jays network. I don't know who they are, but she also used to work in Boston, so people might remember her name. And she put the tweet out and said, Brantley to the Jays confirmed. I think she said it was a 3-year deal. And it got the internet buzzing because it was right after the George Springer news, and we had talked about Brantley probably not having any space there unless they wanted to move somebody. But obviously any team is better with Michael Brantley. He's a great hitter. And so everybody kind of piggybacked. All the big Jays put it out there. All of them. Sherman, Passan, Ken Rosenthal, Mark Feinsand, who I am in the biggest beef with right now. I have the most problem with him. And then it came out a few hours later that it just wasn't true. They all had to backpedal. And that's when I started my finger wagging. And I was doing this to my phone for at least 30 minutes and just going, nope, bad. Because the gatekeepers, the ones who make the rules in the journalism game, broke all the rules, and they had to live with the consequences. And I kind of relished in that yesterday. It was a really fun moment for me. And I mean, I think what's going on is people are trying to get the juice. They saw the Jake Story Alley thick boy juice when you broke the news about Kluber, and now people are going to want to step in the game and do it. But the fire's hot, and you can get burned.
Yeah.
So you're the only right now. You're the only reporter that I trust in all of baseball. Jake.
I am happy when you confirm reports.
Yeah, I mean that's it should get old fairly soon, but it's a good joke as of right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Trev, you mentioned piggybacking because the other part that kind of fueled the story was George Springer signed, and the report came out that Brantley was rumored with Toronto, and Springer wanted Brantley. And when that comes out with Hazel May, who does have a lot of street cred around baseball, she's been around
for a long time.
She's been around the game for a little bit now. I think there was enough gasoline to pour it on the fire, and then a few hours later, ta-da, Brantley's going back to Houston, which, I mean, kind of makes sense. He's been really good for them. He can go in that DH spot for the next couple years. Because, it was we all had that moment yesterday where we looked at Houston and we're like, wait, I mean, Springer, Reddick, and Brantley are all gone. That's a lot of ABs. So Brantley comes back. Yordan Alvarez, I wonder, he's supposed to be coming back at some point. If Brantley can do some innings there and Yordan can DH, or if Yordan can pick it enough at first, we'll see. But Brantley goes back to Houston. They had at bats they're gonna have to fill with Springer leaving and Reddick, so makes a lot of sense.
Does make sense. It also, I think, I don't know how true this is, and I hesitate saying it in case it's not true and it just comes off like a hater or whatever, because I'm over all Astros nonsense. But do you think it's hard for them to get players that aren't in the organization, Trev? Like the fact that they're hated and they're going to get booed and they do have to deal with this. Do you think there's any level of like, let's just get the guys that are already been here, already familiar with us, since there are external voices and loud noises going around?
I don't think so. To be honest with you, I mean, I'm putting Texas and Florida into the free agent destination like go list because of the income tax or the lack of income tax there. So I think people still want to play there, especially if you're a hitter. I mean, you couldn't think of a better place to play your home games. 81 games at Minute Maid Park is awesome for your confidence as a hitter. So maybe like last year or the year before, like when things were really popping, I think things have died down on that front, and they've got rid of people they need to get rid of, and they kind of came out and still had success this year. And they proved the haters wrong a little bit. They almost made it to the CS. Or did they make it to the CS?
They did.
They did.
They did. They made it to CS. So I think people are kind of, I mean, if you're a baseball player and they offer you a deal that's better than other people's deals, you're not hesitating to go to Houston. I think it's a cool city. And like I said, like it's a good division to go as far as, just the cities you get to go to. And I don't think there's any hesitation by players.
Okay, cool.
By pitchers maybe because it's a bandbox, but that has nothing to do with the banging thing.
Well, then the Astros, I mean, this is good for them. They got guys that are familiar there, familiar in the clubhouse, and they got a good squad, man. I like their rotation potential. It's kind of young and a little unproven without Verlander and Greinke getting older, but we loved Framber last year, or Kitty and Javier. In the West, I like it in that division. It's also pretty good. And then, like Jake said, Brantley goes back to the 3-hole. 4-hole, whatever, wherever he's going to go. It's a good move. What were the money on this? What did Brantley get?
It was
232.
2 for 32. So I mean
that's a pretty big hit.
For what?
16 AAV.
Nice math pod.
Wow, math pod.
I mean, that's more than DJ got.
Yeah, I mean, Brantley rakes, but it's only 2 years.
I know. It's just fucking
good for the Yankees.
Stanton in the luxury tax and clogging that up. Just interesting how it works out. Brantley's like top 5 in contact every year. I mean, he's a great hitter to have in the middle of this 3 true outcome. Would have been cool. I know, like, to have two of those. Who's the Twins guy? Reyes. I'd like to see a team with two of those guys.
I want a team with all of them.
Brantley is one of those guys.
Like the 1980
Twins. He's good, but you look at his baseball reference page and it's sneaky. He's already amassed over 30 career WAR. Just like you said, Jim, he's a polished hitter with a high contact rate. He doesn't get fooled. You never see him take a bad swing on a bad pitch. I mean, rarely does that ever happen. He's very balanced at the plate. He should have already been paid years ago. He signed a deal with Cleveland, and then that was the year he signed it in 2013, and the following year, MVP, he was a third in the MVP there and went off. He would have been paid much more, and ever since then, he's just been solid, professional. Dr. Smooth is what they call him. But I'm happy for him. He's been one of the best hitters in the big leagues for a long time.
And they pair him with Castro, go behind the dish, who he got real money too, 1 year for $7 million.
Something like that. It's
2 years, $7 million.
It was
with incentives to get it to 9.
It was first reported as a 1 year, again, the big Jays, Trevor, and then I think they came out and said it's 2 years, and I don't know if the second year is an option or not. I think it's not.
No, it's just 2. It's just 2 years.
The thing I'm seeing is that it's that 2 years, and you can earn up to additional $2 million in incentives based on time spent behind the plate. So that means innings caught, presumably.
You'd like to think so.
You'd like to think that's
otherwise it's just sitting behind the plate.
Unless it's just total at bats, and they're doing weird phrasing for no reason.
Yeah, it gives them Maldonado and Castro. I mean, lefty righty. If you want to just straight up platoon them, I mean, Houston is comfortable with both those guys, and I don't know. I kind of
two excellent catchers.
I kind of think this is where the catching position is going. That not a lot of catchers are built for playing 130 anymore. That you're going to see teams get 2 veteran guys that, one will end up playing 90, one plays 70, and put them in good situations.
Probably. No catchers can hit. So.
And the ones that can get paid, man, they're very valuable.
I mean, he had a, bad year last year. 2019 is like one of his best years. 767 OPS, 232 batting average.
Trev, you ever
but he brings so much more.
I understand that. That's what I'm saying. People look at the catching. People need to appreciate catchers that can hit, because there's like 5 of them.
Well, typically, if they can hit, they're not very good defensively. See Gary Sanchez.
Yeah.
But it's the catching position is so interesting to me, because since we've started these advanced statistics and we have TrackMan and we have all these websites tracking these different metrics for catchers, like certain guys have become very valuable, and then the other guys who used to be valuable aren't valuable at all. But once the automated strike zone comes in, it's going to completely flip again, and you're gonna want a catcher that mashes. So this is the time for guys like Jason Castro. He's not a bad hitting catcher, but his value is in his defense and his getting extra strikes.
If he wasn't a catcher, he wouldn't be a major leaguer.
Yeah. But he does that very well. So it's just interesting for me.
That's not a shot fired at Castro. I don't mean to come off that way. A lot of catchers would not be a player at any other position. People just look at the catching position weird sometimes.
Yeah, to taste Castro a little bit, I mean, he's 749 career OPS versus righties. He's a lefty hitting catcher. So with him and Maldonado as the platoon together, you can almost make that one of the better hitting catcher combos in the league, which again I think would surprise a lot of people hearing that.
Jake wants catchers to sit on buckets.
I think it's coming.
That's essentially what it's going to be. When we have an automated strike zone, if you're a young kid out there that's a catcher, just throw your defensive practice away. Work on throwing runners out, and that's it. Like, don't work on pitch framing, nothing, because you're not going to have to do that.
Pass balls is pretty important.
You can work on that, but it's not. I'm talking about pitch framing and getting low and getting down on one thing and stealing strikes. You're not going to have to do that. So don't practice that. Yeah, work on blocking the ball and throwing runners out and banging, because that's what's going to get you paid and going to get you to stay in the league. Crazy how that's going to happen. It's going to happen quick too.
Yeah, it's such a skill right now that, we just saw like they're like revolutionizing the way to frame pitches, because they're like, well, this is a flaw. Let's trick the umpire so we can get the low strike. And then that could all go out the window. These catchers right now are being thrown through the ringer. Like Garver, who else has done? There's a lot that have done it. Flowers, maybe, where they've changed their style to go on one knee and to pull that low strike up. They probably didn't do that in the minors. And then if they're young enough, where in 5 years or 6 years we go to automated strike zone, now they're just like, that's out. There's kind of a 10 to 15 year crazy window.
Honestly,
for catching.
The guys who are going to be screwed are minor league catchers right now and catchers coming up in the draft and stuff, because the guys you just named, MLB moves slow. We're not getting an automated strike zone soon. Like Mitch Garver
I think we are.
Will still be able to do his thing. How soon would you say, Trev?
Within 5 years.
Okay, I mean, when we're mentioning a lot of the MLB catchers, baseball moves fast. So
it's funny to me. Like, this even happened with the reliever market. The reliever market just popped out of nowhere. The relievers, I mean, besides guys that had saves, they really didn't get paid. They were an afterthought. But then teams started valuing those innings. The starters started to go less innings because you don't want the third time around. So the reliever market shot up. And if you're part of that group that time, like, you got paid as a reliever, but there could be guys 2 years before you that put up better numbers that didn't get paid. Same thing now. You got these defensive-minded catchers. They're the talk of the town. People are paying these guys, but in a couple of years, they could just be non-existent.
Let's all make a pact to monitor the catching market and skill set.
Okay.
It's
a deal. Give me a little chair back there.
Hey, also, Jason Castro, chair. Nickname?
Yeah.
Stro. Come on. You can't. We had a moose and now a Stro and a Stro. We got to work on this, guys.
Well, Stro makes sense, though, Castro. Stro. It's accurate.
Catcher.
Stro's got that one.
C.
Yeah.
Astros. Castro.
Yeah. Castro the Astro.
Makes sense.
Houston still needs a center fielder. Brantley?
Jackie Bradley Jr. Trade for Grichuk.
They've got Tucker.
Trade McCullers for Grichuk.
Done.
Tucker plays center?
I think he can. Right now they have their outfield as Brantley playing left field with Alvarez DHing, Kyle Tucker, and Miles Straw.
Miles Straw?
Miles Straw.
ABJ seems like a clear fit for them, for sure.
JBJ. I like Jim. I like that. Get one of those Blue Jay outfielders. Lance will make him dance.
Lance is only 1 year, and Grichuk has a lot of years left, so don't do it.
Well, Grichuk's getting paid, too.
Grichuk is getting paid.
Yeah.
Good call, Jake. $9 million. Well, he's getting $12 million this year, $9 million next year. That's cool.
Levels, Vici.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Posner. R.I.P.
Where were we?
I thought he was alive.
He is alive. His dad passed away.
Trev, your Twins got in the mix with a World Series move yesterday. Jay Happ, my guy for the past couple years. New York Yankees, sex symbol, pumping heaters. What do you have on Jay Happ, Trevor?
I know I have bad numbers against him.
Okay.
That seems like a guy I would rake. But I've been, checking the baseball reference page out, and he's another guy, kind of sneaky good. Sneaky, consistently pretty good. That's kind of how I would say about him. I mean, he's been a Yank, so you guys kind of might know him a little bit more. I faced him, I believe, when he was with the Blue Jays. But he's been kind of all over the place. And I think if you're looking to fill up a 4th or 5th starter spot, you could do a lot worse than Jay Happ. So I'm happy for the Twins. I think it's a good deal for him. 1 year, $8 million, I believe it is. And they need they needed some pitching depth. I don't think the Twins are done in that department. At least I hope they're not, because right now I would put them up with Maeda and Barrios 1-2, and then you got Big Mike coming back, another former Yankee, then Happ, and then Dobnik. So I think they need another piece, but this is a good depth piece. And even in 2016, 6th in the Cy Young, like another guy who's just had a really good career that kind of flies under the radar, J Happ.
Yeah, so J Happ's very interesting story, and Jay can give you some of the numbers. He's as boring as it comes on the mound.
Yeah.
You're not going to be excited by any pitch. We used to joke on Talkin Yanks like J Happ has never made it onto Pitching Ninja, but he has actually a couple times. Yankees fans aren't thrilled. They're happy that he's not coming back, even though he does start 30 games a year and give you the innings you need, which the Yankees kind of need right now because they have a bunch of injury-prone guys. But he had a really bad 2019. So he went back to the well and he fixed his rotation, and he said he was going to be more whippy. He said, I got a lot of more whip in my delivery now. So we were excited about that. Whip it good, whip it real good, J.A. whip. We had a lot of fun with it. And then in 2020, his first couple starts were like awful. Jake and I were really, there was one start. His second start was like awful. After that, he was pretty good the rest of the season. He got 7 starts with a 2.34 ERA. The competition he faced wasn't amazing, but there were some Mets games in there, and they had a really good team OPS. But if you're a Twins fan, he'll keep you in games. He won't terribly excite you. And I think most of all, he kind of sucked in the postseason. So Yankees fans, we don't really need a guy that's going to get you through the regular season. We need a guy that's going to win in the postseason. Twins have a lot of postseason woes already. I mean, he sucked in the postseason for the Yankees. Like, brutal. So, like, brutal. Like, a lot of bad memories attached to Happ in the postseason. So,
Yeah.
that's kind of where my brain goes.
A lot of Yankee fans have a bad memory. They traded for him, and he came over, and he was actually really nice. 11 starts, 2.69 ERA, 7-0 record. J-Happ had earned his keep in New York, and then the playoffs came. He got shelled. Everyone hated J-Happ. 2019 comes the juice ball season. J-Happ is 60 to 80% fastballs, and he's a huge fly ball rate guy. So I genuinely do think he was one of the pitchers highest affected by the juice ball times Yankee Stadium that really pumped that ERA. And then, yeah, he had a pretty nice bounce-back season, and it's really funny. If you asked Yankee fans when you got J-Happ that he was 50 starts, 21-10 with a 4.13 ERA, I think that shocks Yankee fans initially because a lot of the memories attached to J-Happ are bad playoff memories, including the Davey opener to J-Happ that kind of essentially ended their season this year. So I think going to the Minnesota Twins, you've got a guy. If we're playing 162 this year, he's going to take the pill. He's going to have good days and bad days, like a lot of starters. And the good days don't feel as good because of the pitch ninja thing Jimmy said. When J-Happ is good, it's boring. It's a boring watch. It's a lot of infield pop-ups. It's a lot of, quick fastballs, no wipeout slide or anything like that. So I think from the Twins standpoint, the only thing that doesn't get us excited is if we want to get excited about this Twins team going to the next level, that lineup's going to bang, bring back Nelson Cruz. They still need outs in the playoffs, guys that can wipe out a lineup. And J-Happ, especially at this point in his career, which isn't a shot at him, he's 38 years old. He's not that guy that I think you could give it to in game 3 of a playoff game and be like, he's going to give us, 5 lockdown innings.
Well, that's where for the Twins, if, he's your 4-5 and then you don't think about him in the playoffs, cool, good spot to be in.
Yeah.
But if he's got and you know what? Maybe the Twins are going against the Yankees, and that's what the Twins need. And like Happ's going to feel spited because his relationship with the Yankees was pretty bad at the end. Him and Cash kind of took subtle shots at each other in press conferences all season. He was pissy with the Yankees, and he kind of No, he didn't. He didn't have a right to do it. I'm not going to defend him. They pushed his starts back to
The one time he kind of went for it was like the worst time to go for it.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
was
yeah.
dumb.
Yeah. It was really funny. The Mets got COVID, so the weekend series got eliminated. So Cole was on regular rest, so they pushed Cole ahead of Happ because obviously Cole, if he's ready to start, you start him. And Happ got pissy and said that the Yankees were doctoring his playing time for incentive reasons. And Cashman was like, Cashman's public response was, I didn't give the Mets COVID, which is a pretty good response by Cashman.
It's true. Unless he did.
Unless he did, yeah. Anyway, for the Yankees in the playoffs, Happ pitched like 8 innings, gave up 10 runs, and the Yankees lost almost every game he pitched in. Very bad memories.
I would say if you wanted to be upset with Happ about his performance in the playoffs, sure, but don't be mad at him because he was pissed that he got pushed on a start. Like, you want your pitchers to want to pitch, so.
Yeah, but it wasn't like that. He was saying that they were doctoring his playing time, and it's like very obvious. When Cole's healthy, they're going to pitch Cole in a 60-game season.
And he was in a bad stretch, I believe.
Oh, yeah, and he walked 6 guys in like 1 inning the game before that.
You'd rather him do that than be like, oh, okay, sure, whatever, guys, whatever we need. You don't want that attitude out of a pitcher.
Sure.
Or a player, any player.
There's ways to say it without the way it was bad.
Do it one of the other times.
I actually kind of like him personality-wise because he's like boring and got a sense of humor. He does some social media stuff with the Yankees team, and it's fun. It's just, I don't know. He's like,
sorry, you know me. I'm gonna protect the players.
I get it. No. I'd like him too. I don't want it to be a bash Happ. He had really good stretches. We defended him a lot. We said he could be good, and then in the end, it's kind of just like a coin flip. Like, yeah.
His last 3 Septembers.
Yeah, he's great in September, bad in October.
Trev, you are right on the baseball reference side. Like, dude, check out his page, man. Almost 300 career starts, 123 major league wins with a 3.98 ERA. Like, J. Happ has had a real nice baseball life.
Oh yeah, he's been around. He's been doing it. And, like that's another reason. Like, you kind of like if a guy has that much experience and time, you give him the benefit of the doubt. He's gonna want the ball.
It's hot.
Over 12 years service time. Good for him, man. I do think it's good for the Twins. He's going to eat innings. That's what he does. I don't think they're going to rely on him unless maybe he figures some stuff out so it could change. But I don't think they're counting on him to be that lockdown starter in the playoffs. I think they're going to have Maeda, Barrios, and they got to get somebody else. Big Mike could be that.
Ballparks on average are bigger in the Central than the East, right? I mean, Fenway, Yankees, and Fenway are all bandboxes.
Yeah, I mean, that could help him out as well. But I just think that's a good
Yankees and Fenway. Yeah,
depth piece that's going to eat innings. That's not going to tax your bullpen. It's a good sign for them.
Yes. How much did he get?
1 for 8.
1 for 8.
Guys are getting paid a little bit.
The money's happening. It's just taking a while to get there.
Yeah.
Pitchers are getting paid.
It's the middle class is gone. The elites are getting
middle
theirs.
tier.
Middle tier.
Middle tier. I see a lot of people get backlash when middle class is involved because they're all millionaires.
Middle tier.
Yeah.
Why would they be mad at that?
Because they're all because
People get
the
mad
middle
about
class
anything.
is like, not a millionaire.
It's just a word to describe.
If you say the middle class of the free agents,
Yeah.
like,
I think
that's fine.
Whatever. We have some.
He's definitely not middle class. He's made $90 million.
Yeah.
So he's not middle class.
Yes,
I
I
agree.
think that's the some people respond that way. All right, we have Realmuto and Bauer rumors. The Dodgers are apparently still in on Bauer, and the Braves are circling on JT Realmuto. Was this a Heyman tweet? Who did the
No.
Bauer update, or who did the Realmuto update? Because it's the Braves are circling and West Coast teams have interest. That's a whole lot of nothing.
That's what
No, I
I'm
thought it
talking
was
about with
another
these
guy.
big J's, dude. What is that? What is that tweet?
I'd
That's
like to
hey,
know.
I'm bored. I want some traction.
It was Robert Murray,
Who's that?
MLB insider.
I mean, literally anybody can go on and be like, the so-and-sos are interested in Bauer. Yeah, you think? I don't understand like how those tweets even like what does that mean?
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it. That's a nothing tweet. The Braves are the full tweet is Braves circling on free agent catcher Realmuto. That could mean up to 1,000 different things.
Circling.
That could mean literally nothing.
Yeah.
Or it could mean everything. Other teams on the West Coast are expressing interest. So I'm not going to discuss that tweet or rumor at all. And then the Dodgers are still in on Bauer.
That tweet is the Phillies and Nats being in on Realmuto and them trying to spark them.
Yeah, it's just not an update.
Bauer's Dodgers or Mets for me. And I'm starting to lean Dodgers, man. LA platform, Cali kid, and they can sign Bauer and then tell San Diego, like, really cute offseason.
I own the only way the Dodgers can do that is if they go really high for small amount of years. I just don't think Bauer's gonna do that. So I like the Mets still. I think the Blue Jays are in play. The Padres, who I picked, I think are out. They just have too many. They've signed and traded for too many pitchers I feel like to go after Bauer and give him a real effort going after him. So I want to say the Mets are kind of they got to be the favorite right now.
Do the Dodgers care about the luxury tax?
They haven't been over it.
They're close though. They're at 200, I think.
Let's
I
get
told you I
over.
was reading the article earlier there. Let's see.
Because Bauer's gonna get $20 million a year, right? Minimum, or
25 to 30, depending on the years.
So the Dodgers would be going over if they get him, unless they get really creative. But if he wants a short term,
But it would be their first year over, right?
Can you name
I don't
last
know.
year the 3 teams that were over the tax?
Last year,
Yes. There's only 3 teams.
it's the Yankees.
Yep.
It's the Red Sox got under because they celebrated it.
Ha!
Um,
That was funny.
was it the Dodgers? I don't know.
The Nationals.
Angels.
The Yankees, the Astros, and the Cubs. So the Cubs are going to be under it. The Astros are going to be under it. Yankees are trying to get back under it.
They're going to be under it. I wish they wouldn't, but they are.
So I think the pattern we're seeing is teams are willing to go over it for 1 year because the tax on that isn't as egregious as it is for the second and the third year. So you get
if
for
I
1 year, and then
remember,
you got to get rid of it.
if I remember correctly, the first year you're over, you get taxed 10% on the surplus. The second year you're over, you get taxed 20% on the surplus. The third year you're over, you get taxed 50% on the surplus.
And the
It's
draft
20
pick
first
drops
year,
in the
30
third
second year, 50 after that.
20, 30, 50? Okay. So, the third year is when they really, really want to get under, which I think the Yankees are coming up on because you pay 50 cents on the dollar and you lose draft picks and all that stuff. So, but the Yankees are going to stay under. The Dodgers, who knows? They were under last year, so they could. But again, it'd be an interesting contract, like 2 for 50. What would Bauer sign? For Bauer,
That
if he
is
went to
not
the
for
Dodgers.
No.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what they could do if it's
Dodgers?
if it's a short term thing.
For 2 years, to get him to even think about it, I think it would have to be 2 for 70 and go from there.
But yeah, I guess it's just interesting because if he wants to go to the Dodgers, hopefully the Angels are making a real play, but the Angels play would be come for 5 years and you'll be part of our 5-year window with Trout and Rendon and all these guys, and the money would probably be the final number would be great. If he doesn't want that and he wants to go be on a contender, the contender has a little leverage there.
Or actually being in LA and not Anaheim.
I think it's the Mets at 6 years, 170, something like that. Just under 30 AAV,
Sign.
6 years.
Sign
I think
him
that's what
up.
it's going to have. That's what it's going to take, especially if he has multiple teams in on him. But the 2-year short deal is going to have to be big dollars, which I would love to see the Mets do that too.
Yeah. Still think the Angels might be in play.
Yes.
Yeah.
They should be.
They should be.
They should not be in. Don't sign Realmuto. Anaheim. Don't do that, please. Like, that's not what you need.
Braves got him circled.
The Braves
Braves.
just signed a catcher.
Yeah, they're not.
Well,
Darno's been awesome.
that tweet means nothing.
It's not
I mean, it's not.
nothing.
I mean, dude, that's really all we got. I mean, what else did we have on here? The Royals signed Wayne Davis to a minor league deal.
Hey, he deserves a little bit more respect than that. Let
Those
him
were
to a World
honest.
Series, then a championship. He's disgusting.
Trev, I think you perceived our claps
I
wrong,
think
and
what
that
you
means
just did
you
was
are the
rude.
rude one because that was legit claps.
I respect Wade Davis.
Who
'Cause
doesn't?
I saw him in his peak.
He led the league in
He's a
saves.
bad man.
He led the league in saves 2 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago, whatever it is.
He's the real deal. I actually faced him when he was a starter, when he wasn't the real deal, and then he was one of those guys. He just went to the pen and it clicked.
Just should have never went to Colorado.
It's a
He got the
lesson.
bag.
It's a lesson for a lot of pitchers.
Don't go to Colorado. The ball flies far away.
I think Kansas City's trying to become a revival spot. They revived Greg Holland last year. They revived Trevor Rosenthal last year.
I think they just want to give their fans a product. So they're doing these deals and they're like, let's just, give them some people to get attached to and have some fun, go to the ballpark, all that.
No, I'm saying in a kind of serious note, like we're talking about the Rays and what, if you're a pitcher, you want to go there and get whatever they're doing. Like last year, the Royals revived Greg Holland and Trevor Rosenthal's careers. If they could do that with Wade Davis this year, like then you become, if you're a reliever who gets knocked around for a year.
And I'm saying I think they're fine with being the revival spot because they give their fans something nice to see.
Something.
Oh,
Dude, this guy, I'm looking at this guy's stats, man.
Can you look at them?
In Kansas City in 2014, put up a 1. 2015, a .94, followed up with a 1.87, 2.3, 3-time All-Star. I mean, Cy Young 8, Cy Young 6. He was even an MVP candidate in 2015. This guy, I mean, he found it, man. And then, like you said, Jim led the league in saves 2018 in Colorado with 43. But he was the setup guy, He in Kansas City, who was it? It was Herrera, him, and Greg Holland. And it was at that time, you just had no chance. He had no chance.
Done.
Wade Davis.
That's the team they revolutionized the way teams used bullpens or thought about bullpens.
Luke Hochevar?
Akava. If the Blue Jays really were trying to get Brantley, is it a little bit just funny that they got Springer and everyone was like, not second place anymore. We're not the runner-up anymore. And then, like, within 12 hours, they become the runner-up again. But they did get Springer, so no one really cares. But it's kind of a funny dynamic, I guess. BBD laughed about it.
BBD laughed.
Yeah.
You just wonder, did they actually tell Springer that Brantley might be coming to town? And, Yankees' little fear factor, if they were willing to go get Brantley, it looks like the Blue Jays got more moves coming. So let's see him. Or more second places coming.
Now did the Blue Jays go sign Bauer?
I just can't see him doing it. They would have to overpay out their butt. Like he said, he wants to go somewhere where the location helps what he's doing off the field.
It does help what he's doing. Look at all the guys' socials who are playing on the Blue Jays. They are all crazy numbers.
Because they get all of Canada.
It's true, but
all of them that play there get big-time followers. So I could see it working out that way. And like New York and Canada, Texas, they're like the same. So we don't have to worry about that. Travel sucks. There's no doubt about that. But you flash that kind of dough, all of a sudden the travel doesn't suck so much.
What's that stat about?
Drake?
What's that stat about Canada? 90% of the population lives in the 10% most southern, something like that.
And then that picture, the map, they draw a line. It's like 90% of the population lives below this.
Yeah. Take that, Yukon.
Viral tweet every 6 months. Book it.
A lot of horses got killed on the Yukon.
I like when they refer to Canada as America's hat.
That's
like
rude. That's Americanist. No. Canadaist. I think it's an insult when people say that.
I think
I
hats
think so.
are like awesome. So
I'm
If
a big
someone
fan
called
of-
us Mexico's hat, I'd be like, yeah,
hats can make you look good.
you love a good hat.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
hat guy. I actually have a new one coming. Excited about it.
90% of Canadians live within 100 miles of the U.S. border. Bang.
Just storming. Storming Norman. All right, that's the show, guys. Jake, any of your last parting words of wisdom?
Save baggage.
Oh, yeah, please. Yeah. I got to wear this sweatshirt.
Our company, please.
Save baggage.
Save our city.
We built this city on watching baggage. It's a show. Da, ba, da, 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 da. I'm trying to play the outro music, but my computer's got the spinning wheel of death, so it's not going, but it might go now because it stopped spinning.